Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the wild landscape of Scotland. For today's adventure we're once again joined by Scotland's #1 DJ, and we're out here exploring the wild lands between Monifaith and Carnoustie, and we're kind of in the Barry Budden area of Scotland. And we're in the last adventure, you may have seen it, we crossed over like the military firing range and stuff like that, and we explored this old abandoned lighthouse and stuff behind me. But in today's video we're away to document this next incredible lighthouse. But a cool thing, it looks like there's a little military defensive lookout, which shows that this was probably the current lighthouse during the times of World War II, and that was why it had to be heavily defended. But the crazy thing, this one has still actually got the original razor wire and stuff around it, so I'm not sure if it's maybe even like a current machine gun bunker, and it might not even be for World War II. But we're going to investigate anyway, because that's what we do on this channel. Yeah, you don't normally see them with the... It looks maybe like a current bunker. See, now we're getting closer. But yeah, this adventure, we're basically, last time we came up here, we came right up the beach for Carnoustie and round the coast, so we're hoping there's a decent path from this lighthouse kind of back to where we need to go. Yeah, it looks like that could be for the modern training that goes on here, the military training, and some days you can't pass some of these areas if they're flying the red flag or if the red light's on. But today obviously we were okay with all that, and we're just exploring looking for World War II history. But this here, now we've gotten closer, it doesn't look anything like it. And look how much razor wire's around it. Wow, is that around the whole lighthouse then? See, that could be because it's still used then by the military. Oh look, there's a wee house, most likely the lighthouse keeper's house, when that was an operational lighthouse. See, now I believe it's just purely used for the military. Whoa, I nearly fell down a hole. Purely used for the military. And there's so much communications and stuff, and cameras even. That is mad, eh? I've never been round here folks, so it's crazy to me when I explore places that I've never been and see things that I've never seen. And in Scotland you didn't really see areas defended with this much razor wire often. Originally I was thinking it was just around the old like little bunker, but now you can see it's around the whole site.
It's almost the same similar building.
Oh, aye. Yeah, there's another wee bunker in the corner. It's like this is a heavily defended area, or it's maybe used for training for defending an area like this. If this was purely just for training though, I don't think they would have that much razor wire. Not unless that was just kept there since World War II. The theories on this channel folks, it's amazing. Yeah, this is a proper site here. Wow, the character of that folks, it's an old 1800s lighthouse, or maybe early 1900s lighthouse, and now it's getting still used for the modern technologies of today. Yeah, look, there's a bit of metal sticking out in this area. There's signs that say beware of unexploded like ordnance or whatever. So yeah, there could be anything literally. We're just walking out onto this like piece of land here, eh? Look at this in front of us, there's more buildings. Look at this, this is the most heavily defended place that I've ever walked past on a video. Check it out folks, look how heavily defended this lighthouse is. I can't even believe it. Look at the layers of barbed wire, and look at the layers of razor wire. I think that's because it's modern communications. Look at that thing on the side. What even is that folks? There's loads of devices up there. Shout out if you're in the military and you're involved with stuff like this. For the defence of the country obviously, it's crucial. Often little bits. It's just we've never walked around here and we didn't even realise that was here, like so heavily defended. I always thought it was just like the abandoned lighthouse out on the sand, a bit like the other one which is further behind. That's one of the red flags that they raise over there. If it's they're doing like firing or whatever, they raise the flag. It's super interesting to see that. I'm guessing they use that to practice defending like a complex. Wow, what a scene on today's video once again, folks. This is the first opening clip. I've just been rolling with it, and the viewers along on the journey with us, when I'm recording, it's just like I just say what I see, and it is cool to come on these journeys through this sort of place. And whew, certain days of the week you wouldn't even be able to walk here, and that is mad. And obviously you do have to be super careful of that. Any viewers that want to come and walk in these areas, you hate to be aware that if the flags is flying, it's super dangerous, and I think it's illegal to even walk here if the flags is up. And look, there's more shooting ranges here and stuff in front of us, firing ranges. Yeah, there's so many areas like that. There must be so many people like trained here regularly or like every year. So interesting to see this. And often when I'm walking here, I imagine some of the abandoned World War II sites that we visit and go to, this is almost like travelling back to the 1940s when they would have been fully operational. And you kind of get to see that like behind the scenes, like the goings on. And it's mad to see what they would do to defend a site like that. It went from being a beautiful lighthouse to being probably like quite a crucial military mast, because they won't have to go and build a high mast here. It's a natural high structure. The thing on the roof's making such a noise. You hear that? It makes such a noise, folks. Anyway, on with this adventure, folks. I'll update you once we get further along. Next time we see something that's cool. So check it out, folks, we're now further around, and look, we've got these ranges here on the left. They must come around here and park up and then go out onto the range for their practicing. It's like a firing range or a shooting range or whatever you want to call it, basically. For what do you think? I'm wanting to see what this building looks like at the front. I'm not sure if there would have been buildings here in like World War II. Oh look, air protection must be worn. That'll be because they're storing targets or whatever. Look, they might hit to get it through that hole in the wall, do you see it? Or that would be where they're shooting from. The targets must be at the other end. Because look, you can see it there, folks. There's little walls and then there's a hole, so they must be able to lie and shoot through. Maybe for sniper training or target practice. So from this area we can see the lighthouse that we just looked at, but like you can also see the lighthouse over there from the last episode. And it's crazy, those two historical buildings are so close in the land. We're now following this road down through basically the centre of this complex here, out in these coastal lands, and there's just so many wee buildings. These flags as well, which would be flying. Look at that, folks, that sign there says troop shelter. And there's actually a life ring, so I'm not sure if there's some sort of swimming thing or what they're doing in there. Look, it says grenade on that sign though, so we're not sure. Zeroing must be to do with aiming your sights. Oh, it could be a shop or something. Potentially. Or where they go and get their items before they go out onto the range. See, we're figuring it out, folks. And look, that's restricted there, so that's maybe where they get munitions. And look, there's a cool wee building up there as well. We're going to come back in the future and document more. This adventure, we're just kind of heading through. It's the first time we've ever kind of visited this site. And it is interesting to document the old history with like the lighthouse. But also we're keeping our eyes peeled for like World War II history. Because so much has gone on here with the military since, well, probably the beginning of the Second World War at least. There's a super interesting bit here in the land, folks, and it's been like a track. I'm not sure if this would have taken the munitions and the artillery and stuff around, maybe since the days of World War II. Look at it, the wee track. This is so cool, folks. Look at the wee abandoned line with the wee platform right along the side. And we could see that leading right along onto the range, but we weren't sure it was a track back at that time. Just look at that, eh? Abandoned history of warfare. Once again documented on the channel, folks. And it's so cool to see that. It shows you the mega operations which had been going on here back in the day. And yeah, there's a pipe sticking out the ground. I'm not sure what that's been, maybe drainage. Often these areas were so boggy when the military originally took them over. Oh aye. Yeah, there's total bog lands there. See, they've built that whole area up, and credit to them, the construction back at that time. That's what we love documenting on the channel. I can see I've got a spider on my arm crawling around. Check this out, folks. I always promise you the spontaneous adventures are the coolest. And look, we just spotted this. What even is this? It's a big cement piece. Oh, look at this. Wow. Never seen before on the channel, folks. What have we got here? It's a wee defensive position. I believe that railway line actually comes along here. Do you think this is where they would have stored something originally? Yeah, look how deep it looks. Let's have a look in with the camera. Look at the spider webs and stuff on that plant. Look, there's a stone there, but I'm waiting to try and stand on it, folks. The realest of adventures on this channel. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's so deep!
Yeah.
I thought that was a stone on the surface, so I pushed my foot right down. And honestly, I've got a wet foot now. There we go, folks. That's what these adventures are all about. I should have had wellies. I wonder if I could lean in there and get the shot. Check it out, folks. Exclusive content on the channel. Not sure how well that comes out. Look at the original green paint. Wow, this is such a cool thing we've found here, this building. I love the character of it. I did get a wet foot, but often that's part of the adventure. Yeah, have they been loading the train and the track here? Or do you think if there was an attack at this site, do you think they maybe had places though they could stop if they became like under attack or whatever?
Possibly another bit.
Yeah, does it look like the train might have gone right around here? Because look, there's a ridge in the land here, folks. It goes round this piece and comes back. And you can actually see the track under the grass. Which is super interesting. But yeah, look at that for the structure of history, folks. Abandoned history, most likely World War II. And when I saw this wall sticking out, that was when I knew that it was something cool. I'll go around this side to get another look, see if there's anything we missed. Look at it, the way it's poured. Wow. Yeah, from the road you can hardly see it. It must just be a small little storage bunker. I'm wondering if that's where they stored some of the munitions and loaded the wee train. See, that is the kind of history that we love to document, folks. And we're always keeping our eyes open for stuff like that. Almost lost to nature and time. As was my right trainer there when I nearly stepped down in. I don't think it's too deep. It's maybe just like a foot deep or maybe less. Maybe in the future we could come back with wellies and have a proper look in there. I'm not sure how much I got on the footage when I put the camera around the corner. See, this looks like maybe the perimeter to the old site, would it be? And that could be why the train track leads around. Look, you can clearly see it. The train track doesn't come any further this way. Wow, but yeah, we're still on the current military area, I believe, in this site. Anyway, let's keep going with this adventure, folks. So shout out, folks, shout out to that fan that we just met. He was the soundest gentleman. He was walking up here with his dogs and his kid, I think heading to the beach, and he introduced himself, said he watched the videos, and it's cool to meet the fans when we're out and about. And we do appreciate it when we meet folk, and they're good people that watch this video. And that's what this channel's all about. We've got a good community of fans, and we're always showing the most interesting things. And that gentleman was saying he actually trained at this area. So it is interesting to speak to folk that did train in this area, and just think how long this area has been getting used for stuff like that. Look, this old box here looks like an ancient, some sort of thing they've had. I don't even know what it would be. Maybe the prototype for a security camera back in the day. Because we're in the evening conditions now, folks, there's loads of blue bottles and flies flying around, and also there's cow fields over here. This seems to be used for agricultural land now. And I think this track that we're on takes us back up past Carnoustie Golf Course and such like areas towards where we need to get to. And the whole way up here we're just keeping our eyes peeled for any history which is unseen and undocumented on the channel. The coolest adventures, folks, is when you're walking somewhere that you've never been before and seeing things that you've never seen. And in this adventure alone we've seen so much cool stuff. We like that lighthouse, all those mad little military firing ranges, and then to see that little bunker, it was so special. Barry North, 1200 metres it says there, folks. We're just basically following this track. Look, I can actually see one of the golf flags here. waving in the wind. And it looks like we're kind of on this perimeter road that goes between the golf course and then this other piece of land, which, yeah, there's a fire range I think, and then an area where there's livestock. And I can see down here there's more of these flagpoles. I think we'll just be running alongside the fire range on this track. This is a random one here, folks, but look, there's like a cement post sticking out of the ground. I'm not sure if it's any military related item or just simply something. Maybe there's been a gate over here at a certain time. Could be an old gate post. Sometimes we come up with theories as we're exploring, try to figure out what we're seeing. And often there can be layers of history from all different years and time periods. Often warfare changed so much, these military sites would have been changed and adapted to the training of the latest technologies available. Look at this, folks, this is another place. Look, Pistol North, so they must be doing pistol firing down at this range. Barry North Gallery it's called. All these wee buildings, it's similar to other bits of the range that we saw at the far side. And then right along here it's the well kept grass of the golf course. And I think Carnoustie Golf Course, is this the one they use in the open sometimes, or is it a different one? Oh, this could be Panmure Golf Links out this way, folks. I'm not actually too sure. I'm not into golf, so I'm not actually sure in the great details. See, with these little roads, folks, they've got these barriers, and I think when they're doing the firing, not only do they have the flag up and the lights on red, but that barrier would also be shut just to stop anybody accidentally walking out into an area like this. So we have just pretty much walked 1,000 meters from the top of here, because the whole distance of this firing range on my right is like 1,200 meters, and we're just about at the end of it. I would say another 200 meters will be there. And it's mad to think this road is that distance, that length, and a bullet would just take a millisecond to get down there and hit the target. But yeah, honestly, we've been walking for so long now on today's adventures, it's just crazy. But look, you can see the massive numbers up at the end, and obviously they'll be told to fire at whatever number they're lying at the top. And then these massive sand dune kind of bits have been built to stop the bullet going flying out and hitting somebody on a boat or whatever on the sea. So this is a side of the targets we never saw when we came in last adventure. We came over the top of that hill and then walked up that way. So it's been cool in today's adventure just to cover another bit of the map and to find a tiny bit of that World War II history on this adventure. It was so cool to see how the rail mechanism had been in for the transfer of ammunition and whatever else they needed. And then after the war, most likely that sort of system was outdated and then abandoned. So it's cool to document it before it disappears fully into the sand dunes. And it is cool to explore a military site like this and just see what is going on. Obviously the flags are not flying, but yeah, it's just interesting to imagine. This is like the centre of activity and the centre of action. Probably quite a lot. There's loads of these wee birds flying around today tweeting. This is a perfect habitat for the nature and wildlife out here, as well as all the humans that are out on the golf course. Check it out, folks. This is like, this is similar to the thing that we saw on top of the lighthouse earlier in the video. It must be some of their communications. Oh, there's a wee hutty next to it. I wonder if somebody gets stationed in there. Maybe defending the edge of the premises or the property. Wow, yeah, look at this bit of land. So there we are, folks, military lands, Barry Budden training area. And you've seen it here today on today's video. It was a fun adventure. And yeah, it's always cool, like I've said before, when you visit things and see things that you've never seen before. That little kind of air raid shelter hut, that was so interesting to see there as well. Like theorising as to why they had it at that point. Whether it was maybe somebody that guarded the road end and it was somewhere for them to go and hide in if there was an attack. Or maybe for the people of the little train or tramway, maybe that's where they would go and hide if there was an attack. Who even knows, folks, but it's interesting to see it and document it on the channel. It's the kind of thing we nearly like walked right past it because it was so well hidden at this time of year. So in the last adventure, when we left Carnoustie, we walked along bits of this beach and then came up the stones. But as you can see, the sea is right into the edge of these massive stones now. And it's crazy how much the tide has come in. So me and the channel DJ have walked super far today, folks, and we're both feeling the effects of it. We can feel it in the legs. Because before we came on this mad adventure at Carnoustie, we were also on a crazy adventure. You may have seen it earlier in the week at an Arrow Sea Bunker. And that was up on some hill. So the amount of miles we've put in, right now we can feel the burn. And we're still making our way around the side of this airfield. Not airfield, this is the golf course now, folks, sorry. But literally when we were at the training area, we were going way up that direction. So we've done a mad circuit. But yeah, that's such a popular golf course. There's just so many people kicking about. And now we can see the urban sprawl here of Carnoustie. Check this out, folks. The grass is so well trimmed. This is one of the holes here at the golf course. Our path's taking us right around the edge. And then look, they must be doing a wee bridge here, a new coastal bridge. I'm not sure if it washed out with some of the more recent storms or whatever. Check it out, folks, as part of the coastal defence here, they've actually got the old World War II tank traps that used to be down at beach level, or maybe they were in the, they might have been originally in the river, but they've been put there to stop the river eroding the embankment. And down at the bottom of that wee inlet, there's also more of those World War II tank traps. Look, there's twa ducks fleeing about. Look at this, folks, our path to freedom. Over back to the car, the bridge is closed. Can you even believe there's been such a catastrophe? I can't even say the word. Such an event. Here, would we be quicker just walking back over the beach? Now this adventure, folks, is unexpectedly taking us into the heart of this little golf course here. Look, they've had some extreme rainfall. You can see where the water's been proper deep flowing out of there, and I think that's what's eroded a lot of that land. Probably around, and that'll be the reason the bridge is closed. It's probably been eroded around it. Look at this, this is the big Carnoustie Golf Links, I'm sure. Is that the name of that building? It's like a golf course and hotel. And I'm sure that's a Rolex, that big clock on the wall there. It's a Rolex clock. Look at this, folks. I wonder how many golf balls are down within the waters of this wee burn. Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be difficult. We hit follow this path, I think, right around past the golf links.
No, we're gone.
Do you think we can walk up between? Diagonal. Channel DJs for walking over this area here, folks. So we're going for it. I'm just following his lead right here. I didn't see anybody driving a golf ball towards our heads, so we should be okay. Check out here, folks. It looks like some grand restaurant or whatever, but it's quite a cool bit of modern architecture here on the coast. And that's maybe part of, obviously, the Carnoustie Golf Links. I'm not sure if they have a restaurant. They must have some place like there that they'd be eating for all the people staying. But look, I can see coaches and stuff in the car park. This is an angle of Scotland that you wouldn't normally get, and it's the first time on the channel that we've even been round here. And look, there's a drain right in the middle of this green. So look at this, folks, we're just about back into the hub of Carnoustie, and check it out, look how far in the North Sea's come now to the edge of the sand, and I can now see where my car's parked in the distance. But this is the perfect place to end this adventure. We've seen some history today that we've never seen before on the channel, and that's what we're all about on this channel. And shout out to all the fans that we met along the way today. But I'm ending it here. Goodbye from me, goodbye for the channel DJ, and we'll catch you very soon with the next adventure, wherever we end up going.